Hey church family, we wanted to be able to share a video with you and share our heart and our affection with you, but we recognize that while we have been here for 10 and a half years, there are some of you who may not know us as well as other people. So to begin with, we wanted to share some biographical information about who we are, and then I want to be able to share with you about my heart for the church and the future of where I think we could go as a church family working together. So our goal is in 90 seconds or less to share as much biographical info with you, some of which you may want to know, some of which you may could not care about at all, and that's fine. So, you ready?
Yep.
Okay. My name's Brady.
My name's Kristen.
We've been married for 20 years, well, 20 and a half years.
He's better with dates than I am.
We have 3 children.
Yep. Emerson is almost 17, Abby is 15, and Judah is 8.
I was born and raised in Iowa, hence being a Hawkeyes fan and loving the Midwest.
I was born and raised in Michigan, hence being a Michigan fan.
Sports.
Great Lakes, state of Michigan.
If you don't know what that means, with her holding her hand up,
You're not from
that's
Michigan.
the geography of Michigan. That's how people tell everybody where they live is, I live right here. We together have been in ministry for 21 years.
We met in college.
So we went to Baptist Bible College in Pennsylvania, and now it is Clark Summit University. Our junior year of college is when we met.
I was a senior, technically.
Twice. So,
I was on the long-term college plan.
5th year.
Not because I flunked, just because I didn't know what I wanted to do.
Yeah. So we graduated from college in 1999 and got engaged later that fall. I was actually living here at the time, but we got engaged in Indiana, where I was an intern for about a year. Then we lived in Ohio for a year, serving at a church just north of Cedarville University. Then we moved to Michigan, where we served for 9 years at a Presbyterian church. I was the youth pastor there.
My mom and dad have been here several times. I'm sure you guys have met them. And I have one sister, a brother-in-law, and 3 nephews on my side.
I have 2 older adopted sisters, substantially older than me. Looking at nursing homes for them both. So my 2 sisters, Angela and Heidi, love them both. Together they have 8 kids. So that's how many nieces and nephews on that side. So what else do we need to let people know?
I don't know, time is ticking. Coke.
Pepsi.
You lie.
If it's out of a can, I want Pepsi. If it's from McDonald's, I always want Coke. If it's poured in a glass over ice, then I want Coke. I'm picky.
That makes absolutely no sense.
It makes perfect sense.
Pop. Dogs. Dogs.
Of the 2 dogs,
Nope, I don't crochet, I don't knit, I don't craft.
you bake well.
Yes, I like to bake
I like to eat.
and I like to cook. I've been living on the East Coast 10 years now, and you guys are bad drivers.
Not all of you guys.
And some of
Just
you
most.
have attitudes on the road, which I have now. I mean, I've always had an attitude, but my driving is more aggressive now. But it's a safety thing. It's my life, drive or die.
That's a good slogan.
I know.
Drive or die. On a serious note, one of the things with Kristen being a partner of mine with ministry is that she completes a lot of my deficiencies. She helps me come out of my shell. My countenance is much more positive when she's around, as students in our history could attest to. But one of the specific areas is her high mercy quotient. She has a deep heart for people, deep heart for people who are hurting or just have a variety of needs. And while I'm attuned to that and do have mercy in my heart toward that, she helps me stay focused on it when those needs are present. Because I tend to be a little bit more task oriented from time to time. And so Kristen is a good complement to that for me.
I enjoy partnering with Brady in ministry because I get to see him lead and do the things that he's really good at doing. He is a servant. Like, he likes to serve the people that he works with. He likes to make sure staff is taken care of and are happy, and he'll serve the people of the church and lead them well and guide them well. And I feel like you carry the burdens of the people of the church. And while you might not, I don't know, think think of making them a meal, you pray for them a lot and you seek to ease their burden, however that might be, and that's part of you being a servant. So,
regarding the future of Bethel, I'm very excited about where God has us going. I feel like Bethel is very much poised to grow and succeed in ministry. But I do have a specific heart for some things within the church that I think not necessarily need attention, but need some direction. And so I have a 3-step, call it a vision or direction that I'd like to see us move. But it is fairly vague because I want a collaboration. If I have the privilege of being the lead pastor here, of working with the staff and Shepherd's Council and other leaders. But the first step is really to initiate a reset. As we all know, the last 10 months has been a unique time. We've seen unprecedented times all over the place. And so we're in a position where we can reset everything. In many ways, we have the opportunity and privilege to replant Bethel. And that's true not just of Bethel, but every church in our community and across the country and really around the world. But the Western church in particular, we've been blessed with so many resources and so many things that I think sometimes that blinds us a bit to what really needs to be happening. And so the step 1 is to ask a lot of questions and initiate that reset. Asking questions like, what have we not done for the last 10 months that we really don't miss? What have we not done for the last 10 months that we now realize was probably not effective use of resources or time? The other side of that question is, what have we been doing for the last 10 months that we so badly want to continue and even focus in on more so that we can improve its effectiveness to the church family? And so there's a lot of questions that need to be asked, but I recognize I shouldn't be the only one asking them. I very much believe in a Proverbs 11 model where the council of many, where there's a lot of advisors who are giving input, where we can be together in unity, disagree and agree on things and work through what the future of the church is going to look like. And then there's a lot of why questions. Why are we doing this, or why aren't we doing that? And so with the questions about what haven't we done for 10 months, well, why haven't we done them? Was it because of COVID restrictions, or was it just because personnel was light, or was it because we didn't have volunteers for it? So do we really need to do it? There's a lot of why questions to follow up. So I want to initiate a reset in many ways. The second step to that, though, is to lead and direct the reset. We can ask a lot of questions, but questions are useless if those answers don't then lead to action. And so I believe very much that we need to have action following these questions. Specifically, we've gone through 3 rhythms of grace over this last month. That's not just a sermon series. That is something that you will continue to hear more and more just about every week as we close every service. Here's how the up rhythm is enhanced by this passage, or here's how the in rhythm is guided and directed by this particular statement from Jesus or from the apostles. So those rhythms are a foundation to, or a set of parameters to, what I believe we should be doing as a church. So if we have an idea, how does it fit with up, in, and out? And so to lead and direct through that filter system, I think, is something that our staff already has enjoyed talking through. But I believe as a church, we have an opportunity to lead through a reset using those 3 rhythms. Specifically, though, 2 things come to mind with that, and that is mobilizing and multiplying. I believe that we are in a position to mobilize people and even have a need to mobilize people, which is, of course, the Acts 6 and the Ephesians 4 model of equipping people to do the ministry and raising up people to be servants. So when there's a need in the church is mobilized, they're trained, they're equipped to go and meet that particular need, whatever it may be. Multiplying is the Acts 2 and the Matthew 28 model of going and reaching people and adding to the numbers every day of reaching the lost, developing the found, and seeing people grow in their spiritual walk, seeing people grow in their understanding of Scripture, their application of it, and seeing people grow in their understanding of their role in the mission. Every one of us is called to reach the lost. So are we doing that? And so leading and directing the reset will have an emphasis on those 3 rhythms, but also on what that means for mobilizing people, mobilizing the saints to do the work, and also multiplying. What that does mean, though, is that we probably won't be doing everything. There may be ideas, there may be ministries that we say no to, but we say no for a very specific reason. because we want to laser focus in on those things that we can do well. We don't want to operate on the law of diminishing returns, that we continue to add more and more to our plate and then everything becomes less and less effective. So even if there are great things, we may say no because we will excel in doing a few things with exceptional excellence. So we want to initiate a reset, and I believe we can lead and direct through a reset. And then finally, we want to build a team. Staffing and the leadership structures within the church are what this equation is, or what this step is all about. Building a staff, not because of previous positions that no longer are filled, but building a staff based on where the mission of the church, the vision of the church is going. Hiring people when there's a need, but only when people aren't mobilized to be able to fill it, where we have to have staff carry that position. That might include rewriting some current job descriptions. That might include hiring new people with a job description that hasn't existed in Bethel's history. So we want to staff accordingly for where we're going, not staff according to where we've been. The other part of that is just a leadership structure. We have a wonderful team of our Shepherd's Council, but there's frankly a lot of confusion of what that body is. And so part of staffing, part of building that team means maybe redefining what Shepherd's Council looks like, embracing a biblical model of what elders are, what deacons are, and seeing that flushed out using people's gifts, using people's personalities. And I believe building a team to follow through on that reset has Bethel in a position where we will see great spiritual growth in our depth, and hopefully with God's blessing and favor, great numeric growth in our reaching of the community, seeing people come to know Christ through the ministries of Bethel. Now, I recognize personally that I am not the best leader. I'm not a perfect leader. If you want a perfect leader, good luck finding that. I have deficiencies, and I'm well aware of some of them, and I probably have blind spots. And I'm thankful for a wife who can speak truth into me. I'm thankful for a staff who can speak truth into me, and I'm thankful for our Shepherd's Council who can speak truth into me. And one commitment that I make to you as a church is to be a learner and to be confrontable. If there is sin, that people can come to me about it. If there is deficiency, that they can kindly and hopefully graciously speak to that. But I commit to being evaluated. I commit to growing as a pastor. But to be a better pastor, I need to grow as a husband. I need to grow as a dad. And I need to grow as a friend. And so I recognize that I am a far cry from perfection. But I do get very excited about what could be at Bethel, and I look forward to hopefully the opportunity to be the lead pastor here. I know I've said it before, but as a church family, you have shown such tremendous support and affection for our family. The last 10 months, of course, has been a real challenge for everybody, but a year and a half ago with my mom's passing, you guys were a real family to us. Anything from giving meals and dropping off a huge amount of food for us, my sisters, my dad, when everybody was together. You grieved with us when we were grieving, you encouraged us, and that was really great and made us fall more in love with you as a church. And so I'm genuine when I say this. I look forward to the opportunity to be your lead pastor, if that opportunity is there, and I hope that it is, in part because that's where I believe God is calling us, and also in part because we love you. We're very thankful for you and how you've served us as a family.